Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. However this finds you, I do hope this finds you well. I'm not going to be on here for a long time, but I am on here for a time worth having, a congrats to the class of 2026 type of time. Here's to them, their future, and honestly, their complete and utter refusal to fake enthusiasm about the bullshit. So listen, a clip recently went viral from the University of Central Florida's commencement ceremony after a graduation speaker compared artificial intelligence to the Industrial Revolution and started celebrating AI as the future. Baby, those students booed her, not subtly, they booed her loudly, repeatedly, with all a chest.
The rise of artificial intelligence is the next industrial revolution. What happened? Okay, I struck a chord. May I finish? Only a few years ago, AI was not a factor in our lives. Okay, all right. And now, AI capabilities are in the palm of our hands. And I love it.
Honestly, I think the reaction shocked a lot of people and made a lot of people smile at the same time, folks in tech and otherwise, because many people inside the AI bubble still assume that the public is excited about what's happening right now. But increasingly, people are anxious, and young people especially are anxious because they are entering one of the most unstable labor markets in years, while simultaneously being told that the very industries that they studied for may be automated. The speaker in the clip says the rise of artificial intelligence is the next industrial revolution, and the crowd immediately started going ham. And her being genuinely confused and being like, what happened? Is also a hoot. It perfectly captures the disconnect between elite optimism around AI and the emotional reality that many workers are actually living through. This conversation is not theoretical. These students are graduating into hiring freezes, layoffs, economic instability, impossible housing costs, rising debt, shrinking entry-level positions and opportunities, and automation as a cost-saving strategy. So when somebody gets on a stage and they are celebrating AI disruption during a graduation speech, students are not hearing innovation. They're hearing, you on your own, get somebody else to do it. They're hearing, I don't care. And that lands differently. Younger workers are already seeing this impact. We look at media companies that are automating writing tasks. Tech companies are restructuring around AI workflows. Customer service positions are increasingly automated. Junior coding positions are under pressure. Administrative work is shifting. Creative industries are anxious. Even white-collar knowledge work that once felt protected is now unstable. Students are online all the time. They see the layoffs. They see the posts on LinkedIn. They see the AI first mandates. They see companies boasting about efficiency and cutting jobs. Internships are disappearing, and they see entry-level bottlenecks forming in real time. So those boos, they're not random. As well, polling shows that there's a growing distrust of AI among the public, especially among younger people. One recent Gallup poll found that nearly half of Gen Z respondents believe AI's risks to the workplace outweigh its benefits. And I get why. It's unfortunate, but I get why. Because the messaging around AI right now it often feels emotionally disconnected from the labor reality. People keep talking about the future while ignoring the emotional cost of transition and ignoring the humans that are involved. And history tells us that transitions like this are rarely painless.
It felt like she did not know the crowd she was speaking to. It did not feel particularly inspiring for a bunch of young people about to enter the workforce in these creative fields. A lot of our students are pretty against specifically generative AI. It can only spit things out that already exists, and I think a lot of artists, we want to tell stories from our own personal experiences. We want to create things that don't exist yet.
Okay. AI, alongside human intelligence, has the potential to help us solve some of humanity's greatest problems.
Even the comparison to the Industrial Revolution is an interesting one because historically, the Industrial Revolution radically transformed labor structures, displaced workers, intensified exploitation in many sectors, and created massive wealth concentration before labor protections caught up. So if anything, that comparison alone, it's not a proper one. It makes things uncomfortable, child. Another thing that stood out to me regarding this conversation and that speech is that the speaker was really and truly in her heart surprised by the reaction. She genuinely did not expect resistance was coming. And that's important because I think that many people inside executive, venture capital, or tech spaces are still underestimating how much public resentment is building around AI. I've been talking about it. It's not because people hate technology or they're anti-practice or anti-progress or unintelligent. They are reacting to power structures and watching billionaires and corporations aggressively push technologies that may fundamentally reshape labor while average workers absorb most of that uncertainty. And young people especially are asking a very fair question. If AI is going to create so much abundance, why does the future feel so economically fragile and feel like low vibrational plates? That's the question underneath those boos. And honestly, the students, they have all right. Graduation ceremonies are emotional moments. Students are leaving one chapter and stepping into another. And many are worried about what lies ahead. So celebrating automation during this moment is completely tone deaf. Many of them are not looking at AI as a creative tool first. They're looking at it as their competition. And I think that what's revealed here is something bigger is happening right now. People are becoming less willing to politely perform optimism about systems that they fundamentally do not trust. That openness, that friction is healthy because we need to have honest conversations about what ethical AI adoption actually looks like. Labor practices, economic displacement, surveillance, dignity, compensation, and who benefits ultimately from these systems. Being blindly optimistic is not ethical. And what I love is that younger generations know this. That's why that moment went viral. It wasn't because the students were being rude. And I didn't see it as rude at all. But it was because for a split second, a very polished public narrative was cracked open. And people saw the emotion underneath it, beneath it. The future absolutely does include AI, but people still want to know whether or not that future includes them. And that's justified. Well, I told you I would not be on here for a long time, but I was on here for a time worth having. Subscribe for more. Congratulations again to the class of 2026. And y'all remember, until next time, you are capable of big things.